Good morning. It's Monday, and that means it's time for a little garden update. And you know, I've waited as long as I can for the blowers to stop, and there's only a couple in the distance, so I hope it's not too annoying. That's just part of sunny Arizona life, is that there's landscapers actively working in December. So let's get a quick tour. Okay, so if you can remember these little salvaged squashes that I tried to extend the life on and plant later than they should be in the season, and I took them inside thinking that they were going to survive, but unfortunately they have become victims of powdery mildew. This is a really good example here. And when you get this, a way that you can kind of know is that you can actually kind of wipe away some of that. So that's powdery mildew, and this is, you know, just a sign of weakness in, you know, plants that are well out of season and they're not happy right now. So they're going to go to the compost pile. And since we're over here by the flowers, I just thought I would show you that the cosmos are actually getting a lot taller in spite of not getting as much sun as I think that they need. But they're getting taller, so hopefully as the season continues to shift, we'll get some really pretty flowers. And this bed here is just doing wonderful. We actually have got some little flowers here on our sweet peas. See that? I'll get you another view on the other side. But everything here is looking lovely. We're getting pretty chilly in our nights here. It's been like in the, I guess last night it was about 39 in some areas, and it was probably that chilly in my backyard. And I probably should have covered a couple of things up, but a lot of these things that I'm growing that are for winter should be doing okay. So we're just gonna keep on, well, I don't know how well we're doing here, so if we're not, but I did want to come over and show you these pretty little pea flowers. And this plant is just doing so awesome, and you can see it's all the way up to the top of the trellis. So if it comes over, I'll just loop it back down the other side. But our cauliflowers are looking nice here, even though somebody's getting munched on over there. Everything over here is super happy. This cabbage is looking like it's getting ready to form a little head in there. So everything is super happy here, except for these guys, the basil, and of course those two squash are going to have to be sacrificed, because if the other ones aren't cutting it, I don't know why we should think those are. But these two basil, they're not getting enough sun for the time of year that they need to be in. Now, look at this magic happy place over here. I was actually a little concerned if whether or not these should have been covered up last night, but look, they just look wonderful. And if you remember last week, we took a pretty good cutting off of these, and look how much the dill has really come up. I mean, I could start taking some nice cuttings off that. The garlic's still just looking so lovely. But remember all these lettuces? I cut every single one of these down quite a bit. Beautiful, beautiful red romaine coming in there. And look at the awesome kale. I'm just so pumped about that. It's really starting to fill out. So all of these things over here are just loving the cooler weather. Now look at this. I moved this over and to this area that's getting a lot more sun, and look how much that spinach has come up, and look how much the carrots here are just so much happier. Now we still don't have a lot of activity here, and I'm really glad that I didn't do anything over here, because we had a crazy rain on Thursday night, and you can see from the water that came off the eave, it just eroded out all the dirt that was in those buckets. So I'm not terribly upset that I didn't get stuff planted in there, because that means I didn't lose anything. Now I'm gonna open up this compost pile, and I'm sad to say that it's been sorely neglected. I really was not well last week And towards the end of the week, I really had to just shut down and take a big break and get myself back to feeling good. So we'll open this up and see what it looks like, and give it a little turn, and probably feed it. All right, so we'll be right back. Okay, so this is what it looks like just having taken the cover off. And now I'm gonna kind of push some stuff back from the pile. And so, woo, look at that. Look how good that looks. Let me get down there and feel. Ooh, it is kind of warm. It's got a little bit of warmth to it. But look at that. That is beautiful. And it doesn't smell. It smells earthy. It doesn't smell bad. And the last time I'd put a bunch of bigger eggshells in here from my second go around. So you can tell that this really needs to be stirred, and I'll do that. But you know what? I'm pretty impressed with even being neglected last week, that this smells nice and it looks beautiful. Let me get down in here and feel. Yeah, it's actually it's warmer down here than it is out here. So I'm really pleased with how this is breaking down. And now as I'm feeling better, I can get back to tending it, because I got so much frozen waste food in my freezer that it's starting to be like what's food and what's not food to eat. Not a lot going on here in this bed. These are kind of getting a little bit bigger because of the sun that's gonna come out. The Brussels sprouts doing okay. This crazy mamma jamma, that's how tall that is. That's how tall. Like, am I to the top of it? Yeah. That's how tall that crazy bell pepper is. And if you look, it's, you know, it's still got crazy amounts of bell peppers in there. But I'm not going to cover this up. And I've already told my husband, this is crazy to try and cover this up. And I just told my husband, it's going to die. It's suffering right now, but it's still making fruit. But it's going to have to go. And the green beans are not doing so well. They're not very happy. I think they might need, I don't know, either more sun, or I saw some people are adding some nitrogen. These down here are looking okay, you know, so maybe it's just this one. Maybe something happened with it to not be happy, but this one down here is still making green beans. I don't know if you can see that yet. There's a green bean. Yep, there's 3 or 4 green beans on this one, so maybe this one will turn off and be happy. Then the streams are looking good. I don't know what all that randomness is, and the Swiss chard is just kind of leaking along on our own. See, 1, 2, 3. There's a 4th one up there. I think there's somewhere. Oh yeah. Look at that, 5. There's a wonky weird one. There's another one. I mean, there's at least 10 peppers on this crazy thing. She just doesn't. Look at all of these. It just doesn't get its winter time. But I'll pick them and see, look, still making flowers. That means she's gonna make more peppers. Goofy girl. But if she survives the winter and the cold, then I guess she's just meant to be for a little bit. But thanks so much for checking in with us, and I hope you have the best day ever.